your community came with a monthly fee. Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local radio stations. By the National Association of Broadcasters.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard.
What do you say? Final hour? Hard to believe. But here it is. Wrapping up the month of July. All right, back at it here. We'll pick it up at 844-844-3388. Hey, what day is it?
It's one day closer to the greatest day of the week.
And that is now official.
It's official. Yeah, I'm still out here. So tonight's going to be my last night for the company I'm at. 19 and a half years.
Have we found some other prospects yet?
I have.
Congratulations.
The past couple of days, I've done 33 training and orientation videos.
Yeah.
I'll be hauling bulk cement in a pneumatic trailer. I've got orientation Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I start training Thursday. So, yeah, they're the only ones that's called, and I've put in, I don't know, probably 50 or 60 applications. No word from anybody except this one.
How about that? Wow. Lucky thing you did your due diligence, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my start time's anytime from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., and then it's a 10 to 12-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a job. Gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna have to wear pants now.
Oh yeah. No, you mean no Crocs, no shorts and Crocs.
Yeah, no Crocs, no shorts. I probably even have to wear a hard hat.
And probably steel-toe shoes, I'd venture, right?
Yep. Got to have steel-toe shoes, steel-toe boots. So yeah, no more shorts even. I've been wearing shorts for 25 years, I'd bet.
Yeah, and I guess there in the Sunshine State, it probably gets pretty warm out there in the long pants.
Yeah, it will be. But in Michigan, I would just change, go from shorts right to long johns. And then, when it gets warm enough, just peel the long johns and back into the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking good, I guess. We'll see what happens. See if I can. It's going to be a big adjustment for me because I'm used to being inside, just riding down the road and air conditioning and then get home and go to bed and sleep in a nice, cool room. Now I'm going to have to be out physically working.
And
I don't know about that.
I guess the cement moves. You'll be doing daylight work, right?
Yeah, the biggest part. I'm going to be starting at 2 a.m. taking the dry cement powder to the cement companies, I guess, so they can fill their trucks.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how it works exactly, but there seems to be a lot of building going on down here in Florida, so maybe this would be a good opportunity.
So that's an odd schedule. If you start at 2 a.m, it was like 2 a.m. till noon or something?
2 a.m. till probably noon, 2 o'clock.
Wow.
And then go home and come back in again. Yeah, the hours won't be the best. I'm used to going into work, in the evening and then get off, fairly early in the morning and then sleep all day till that evening. But it'll be a little bit different now.
No doubt, yeah.
And we'll see what happens. I start all over, I guess.
Well, I guess they're in the Sunshine State. They've got, you don't have that harsh of a winter, and got a lot of construction stuff I know going on down there. So there's probably plenty of demand for cement, right?
Well, I would think so. That's what I'm hoping. So I guess I'll be back here on the greatest day of the week now again.
maybe officially at some point.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe at some point before the show ends.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I got. I was just trying to give you an update. I heard you tell Knucklebuster that I was still looking.
Exactly, yes.
I got to pass the road test tomorrow. But I've been running ragged, all them training videos and have to redo my physical. I went to the doctor and I said, I haven't seen you since April. And he said, yeah, I see that. What's going on? So I told him, a real nice guy. I wish he could be my normal doctor. But I told him I was trying to make 67, so I could just start my Social Security, but probably keep on working.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, he retired at 67, and he said it lasted about 2 weeks. He said he was bored out of his mind. So he just kept his Social Security and now still working as a doctor, at one of those Concentra clinics.
Yeah,
so,
at one point you're only allowed to make so much a year up to a certain point, and then I don't know. At what age is it you're allowed to make whatever you want?
Well, you're penalized. You can only make $24,480 from what I'm understanding. If I were to take it now, if I wait till 67, which is my full retirement age, that you don't get penalized for going over that amount.
Okay.
If you work.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've heard. Now, another guy told me, no, it's 70. So I don't know. I think it's 67.
Okay.
I think that's what, I can't think of his name, his handle. Cue ball. I think that's what he said one night after I called, that it's 67.
And that would I guess, that would make sense. That's because that's what, Big Ed was, that he had done that. And of course he was going out and he said, I can only make X. So that's why he would go out for 5 or 6 months and then park it the rest of the year. Because you're giving most of it back, right? You're working for nothing.
Yeah. You're penalized. I think I think you got to pay back a dollar for every two that you make, or two for every dollar that you make, or something that you go over, something like that. But I'm also on Medicare, and to me that's been the best insurance that I've had, and the doctors all say that that's the best insurance there is the Medicare, because they cover everything. Well, I mean, you get the supplement, the Part G, I think it is, and they pay the 20% that the Medicare doesn't cover. So I haven't had to pay any deductibles or how you go in and get nowadays they're starting to charge an upfront your portion up front on a lot of the procedures now. I haven't had to do any of that. So that's a good thing.
Yep. Interesting.
So yeah, but it's I'm glad I got the job.
Well, that offers
now I can still be.
It offers a little peace of mind, right? There's nothing like the uncertainty of what am I going to do when the bills start rolling in, kind of thing.
I haven't heard from anybody anything, and they called back and they wanted me to start as soon as I possibly could. That's why I've been having to do all of this stuff this week. Normally you do your orientation and then you do all this other stuff after the orientation. Well, they had me do all this stuff now so I can do the orientation and then training right away as soon as possible. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. If I don't like it, I guess I'll be looking for something else again. I haven't looked for a job, for 25 years now. Even 5 years before I went to Penske, I was with Excel, and they lost the contract to Penske, and then I just changed hats and went to work for Penske. So I didn't even look for a job then. And this is crazy, all this stuff. But it doesn't seem like there's any in-person interviews with a lot of companies now. I've got a Zoom call Monday from 1 to 3, and then Tuesday I got to be on there at 7:50 a.m., and they may get done by 5 on Tuesday, and then the same thing for Wednesday. I don't know how many hours on Zoom call. And you do all this stuff on Zoom call instead of in person.
Wow.
For a lot of these companies.
It's a whole new world.
I know. A guy that I work with, he's 70 now. He doesn't have the internet. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. And I said, Johnny, I've been telling him for years that you need to try to keep up with technology or you're going to be screwed. And I said, there's no more going to these companies and say, hey, you're hiring. They may tell him that they are, but they'll tell you to go to the website to fill out the application. They don't even have applications anymore that you fill out in person. It's everything online.
Yep.
They checked my checking the clearinghouse was like the first thing that they checked. That clearinghouse that you talk about for the drugs and the piss tests and all of that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They called to see if I had any violations in that very first. That was like the first thing they did. And then, of course, ran my license and now all this other stuff. But yeah, it's a whole new world now. But anyway, I thought I'd call and say, hey, and I got a job, and I'll be out here harassing everybody again.
That's good.
Telling them that Monday's the greatest day of the week.
Right.
Thank goodness the weekends are over.
I don't think you've convinced a soul yet that Monday's the greatest day. Not that I'm aware of.
No? Well, I'm still trying.
Exactly.
Oh, well, anyway.
All right.
That
Well, hey, thanks. Good news. Thank you for checking in there, Cap and Ron. Yeah, one day closer to the greatest day of the week.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit. With a threaded Torque Lock design, these cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor, here with Tax Help MD. As many of you know from Steve Sommers' show, I've been helping professional drivers solve their tax problems. I can help you too. If you've been struggling with back tax debt, call me now at 888-557-4020. Let's face it, these problems aren't going away all on their own. You need professional help so you can sleep better at night knowing you're in good hands. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep my eyes on the IRS. 888-557-4020.
Well, I saw Horse Feathers. I tried to dial this up. Of course, she's got that very, very short window of opportunity as he only has about 15 minutes from exiting the home 20 and getting down to the job site. I think he was going to try it out. Well, Cap and Ron made it official. One day closer to the greatest day of the week. Meanwhile, Vic, what's going on this morning?
Well, I don't know. I tried to dial you up a while ago, and it shut down everything, so I had to call you back here. But, yeah, listen to Captain Ron there talking about that, all the stuff that's going on now. I know whenever I got off the road, I drove for a while after I started my Social Security. At that time, it was 66.5, and then you could make all you wanted. And the only thing that I know that stayed the same is that whenever Social Security gives you a raise, they now take that raise and put it against Part B. And actually, sometimes it's not a lot, but it's just kind of irritating. You really don't get a raise. You go backwards a little bit. So I don't know how all that stuff is, but I do know that Obama put that in place to pay for his Obamacare. So anyway, and that's why they were talking about that the Medicare people were subsidizing like I say, the Medicare people were subsidizing the Affordable Care Act. And but anyway, and the problem that I had was usually whenever, like I was traveling and stuff, I would try to stop at a travel center or truck stop or whatever you want to say, because they always had plenty of restroom space and everything else because a lot of these women's restrooms, they're you have the women standing in line and one thing and another. So I knew if we stopped there that there'd be plenty of restroom space. But I had a bad habit 2 or 3 times. when we stopped at one of the travel centers that also had the truck thing, I walked out without paying for my drinks because I kind of resort back to that thing to where they would give you free coffee, free, hot chocolate, and all the free drinks if you fueled up and everything. So I got there to a while that I just kind of quit doing that so I could kind of break that habit. I don't have that anymore, but really what I was calling about was last night I was kind of stumbling around and we were talking about that bird flu. What I was thinking about was, if you recall, that it was called highly pathogenic avian flu, and that was killing the songbirds and destroying the broiler industry and the laying industry both. And I think some of those people actually had to go out of business. And one of the things that kind of brought that up, do you remember when the World Health Organization wanted to take over all the different, I don't know what it was, health laws or whatever in the United States?
Correct.
And they finally got that. And I've just kind of wondered, well, all these different diseases that are foodborne illnesses that are popping up, is it just a coincidence, or is there something nefarious at work? Is the World Health Organization still trying to get control of all the health care around the world? Because that would pretty well give them control over every nation, coming and going. And the other thing, real quick, you were talking about the all this stuff that's going on now with the DEF and the guy that called last night, I forgot who he was. He really didn't say what sort of a truck he had, but he was worried about something being carboned up. And long story short, if things are carboning up, especially with all this emission control stuff, sometimes if that goes wrong, it might just be with a positive crankcase ventilator or one of the filters and everything else. But if his valves are carboning up, there's something wrong more than just,
I think he was.
carbon.
I'm trying to recall. I think he was talking about injectors, and he was asking if the diesel extreme would work to keep that carbon off, which I believe it would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, both with that, and also like when you use that gasoline extreme, it has that lubricity thing in it, and it does make the injectors work a whole lot better, and it helps the gas mileage jump a little bit. But like I said, if it's carboning up, there's something kind of wrong there. But Steve, have you ever heard of the? I was trying to think. That Fairbanks Morse made it for the diesel engines that went in a submarine. It actually has an upper crankshaft and a lower crankshaft, and the pistons travel towards each other until they combust, and it has a gearing and all that. But it's highly fuel efficient. I mean, it's just efficient all the way around. So I didn't know if you'd ever heard of that or not, but I believe they just pretty much quit researching that. And
that would be a new one on me. I can't say that I have. Hey, you got to pause there. Yeah, get a news break here. A service of industrial injection. Since 1985, diesel owners have counted on us. Fuel injection, turbochargers, and engine solutions, from light-duty pickups to heavy-duty equipment. Learn more, as always, at industrialinjection.com. Back after this, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. A Reuters report says that China is preparing to send up to 400 handheld missile launchers to Iran under a deal valued at around $70 million. China's foreign ministry denies that report, calling the claims groundless and saying it supports efforts to end the Iran war. President Trump says he may delay Todd Blanche's Attorney General nomination until 2027 after Senate Republicans postponed a key vote. Senator John Cornyn.
This is about making sure that even if you're the President of the United States, you don't get favorable terms from the government in a settlement of a lawsuit that ordinary citizens not get.
The dispute centers around a controversial IRS settlement with 2 Republicans and Democrats on the Judiciary Committee opposing Blanche's confirmation. The Trump administration is launching an effort to help soldiers earn commercial truck driving licenses as they work to fill shortages in that industry.
Any veteran with a heavy vehicle experience from the military will now be eligible to skip redundant road tests to obtain a commercial driver's license. We're going to make it as easy as possible for the veterans.
The program is part of a broader push to help veterans transition into civilian careers. A poll finds that there is a growing socialist identity among Democrats.
A new poll is drawing attention to the number of Democrats and Democratic-leaning voters who identify as Democratic Socialists. The survey reported by CNN found about 1/3 of those voters use that label. The issue is sparking debate within the Democratic Party over its direction, as some candidates embrace more progressive policies, while others warn about concerns among moderate voters heading into the upcoming elections. Ron Warner, USA Radio News.
Wall Street closed higher.
At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average added 613 points. The S&P 500 gained 121 points, and the Nasdaq soared 679 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your free website analysis, call 888-699-2407.
A Northern Virginia mail carrier is facing dozens of charges after allegedly stealing mail meant for customers along her route.
55-year-old Crystal Dean of Culpeper was arrested Tuesday. Deputies and USPS inspectors began investigating last year after Culpeper County residents reported missing mail. Investigators say more than 100 people may have had mail stolen. Dean faces 30 counts of felony mail larceny, along with credit card theft and other charges. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
Testimony continued in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial as first responders described finding 3 children dead inside of a Massachusetts home back in 2023. Clancy is accused of killing her 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and infant. She claims insanity due to postpartum psychosis. The father of a 10-year-old boy rescued from drowning is thanking teenage lifeguard Ryder Williams for saving his child's life.
It's a feat. It's not just courage. It was a real demonstration of prowess, just determination, physical, mental.
16-year-old Williams pulled the child from the ocean. President Trump says he plans to recognize the teen with a high civilian honor. A wildfire near Nevada's Area 51 has expanded across thousands of acres as crews battle that blaze in rugged desert terrain. Officials say the Quail Springs fire remains difficult to contain with dry conditions and remote locations complicating the firefighting efforts. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local radio stations. By the National Association of Broadcasters.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now, 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
shout out to Truck and Phil, who chimes in. Happy Casual Friday. Coffee up. Good morning, Mr. Steve Summers, the Hot Shot Secret Nation, and the great product of Staybill. Start off at a cool 63 this morning. 84 for a high. Fort Wayne, about the same there in Newaygo, Michigan. Big shout out to the retired knucklebuster. I hope you're doing well in recovery. Also, a big shout out to all the veterans out there. Be safe out there today. Have a great day. It's a working weekend for me. Only 146 days till Christmas. Semper Fi from Truck and Phil there. All right, we left off with Vic. Welcome back. Thank you, Vic.
All right, thanks for holding me over, because I was talking about those different engine designs, and one of the people that did a lot of that was that legendary tractor engineers, Harold or Howard Brock. Anyway, he was first employed by Ford and worked with Henry Ford and everything, developed a little N series of tractors. And that basically, that and that little Ferguson, they were small tractors, and a lot of farmers could afford them to replace the horses, which apparently helped out a great deal in the World War II, because, the horses, they had to be fed. I forget, it was several acres that was actually taken out of food production just to feed the animals. And then he was working on automatic transmission for tractors, and Ford wanted him to go ahead and release it. And he said it wasn't really ready yet. So Ford and him parted company, and John Deere snatched him up right away. And then that's where John Deere was wanting to get away from those supposed 2-cylinder engines. And they were going to come out with that whole new generation tractor. So he did a lot of work on that. And the one on the before he left with Massey Ferguson and all that, they had that 3-cylinder Perkins diesel. So he had a lot of experience, and there's a lot of other engineers out there that had a lot of experience with that internal combustion fossil fuel engine. So that's what I was hoping that they would get deep into research whenever Trump got reelected and said he was going to quit it with that EV thing. Hasn't quite worked out, but so it goes. So anyway, that's pretty much about all that I really had to talk about tonight. But I am glad that they're going to finally just let the military or those people have experience with heavy equipment not have to go through another course to, I guess, learn what they already knew. So that's about it, Steve.
All right, I think they have to do the book learning, but as far as like the driving and all that, if memory serves, that's, we talked about that earlier this week. Meanwhile, Shorty, we talked about the, nuclear verdict against C.H. Robinson last week. 6 figures, like $604 million, right? CCJ reporting this past day that C.H. Robinson obviously is appealing. That 6-figure verdict handed down by the Texas jury in the fatal trucking accident case, mounting a legal defense that the company officials say carries sweeping implications for the transportation industry as a whole, obviously, following a 2021 Mississippi crash that killed 3. A Dallas County jury this month found C.H. Robinson negligent for hiring a carrier with known safety alerts. $604 million to the victims' families. This was the first major trial outcome against a freight broker since that U.S. Supreme Court ruling in May, clearing the way for personal injury and wrongful death lawsuits against brokers for negligent hiring practices. C.H. Robinson's chief executive officer, Dave Bozeman, addressed the $600 million judgment against his firm during the company's second quarter earnings call Wednesday, confirming that obviously they disagree with the ruling but will file an immediate appeal if the advisory verdict is deemed final by the court. While acknowledging the tragedy of the crash, the company argued C.H. Robinson did not act negligently and should not be held vicariously liable for the actions of a third-party independent motor carrier. Now, acknowledging that a terrible tragedy occurs not the same thing as having caused it. C.H. Robinson did not act negligently and should not be held liable in this case. But some of the key surroundings, the legal dispute, and the company's defense position include, C.H. Robinson noted the independent carrier held the highest safety rating from the FMCSA, both prior to the accident and following a federal review of the crash. The carrier had safely completed nearly 270 previous shipments for C.H. Robinson customers before this incident. C.H. Robinson emphasized it does not employ drivers or manage carrier operations. The driver was an employee of the motor carrier, had no direct communication with the supervision from C.H. Robinson. And lastly, insurance company leadership rejected demands from the plaintiff's attorneys to settle, stating that having standard commercial liability insurance limits does not make a third-party freight broker automatically responsible for damages. Legal proceedings remain subject to post-trial motions and appellate review, a process C.H. Robinson officials noted could take years to resolve, depending on judicial discretion. But all this amid the broader industry concerns about these nuclear verdicts. Bozeman warned that these sort of precedents will pose systemic risk when it comes to commerce across the board. If nuclear verdicts like this are the new normal, there will be an impact to three key things. The movement of goods will be substantially impacted within the country. Service levels will be significantly impacted, and the cost of transportation will certainly soar, he says. The broker is calling on Congress and federal regulators to step in with some sort of standardized federal rules, establishing liability guidelines across the freight sector. There's got to be some sort of a ceiling, whatever. As we discussed earlier this week, we all realize you can't put any sort of a dollar value on the value of a life. But how many operations will be put out of business with these sort of nuclear verdicts? So not surprisingly, I haven't heard from Grump this morning, but he'd been talking earlier this week and for several weeks about, and several of our listeners, about this Democrats, the socialist Democrats. What do they call them? The Democratic Socialist Party. And the sheer numbers coming in, according to CNN, of course, a far left outlet, they're saying about a third of Democrats and Democrat-leaning adults actually identify as Democratic Socialist, per the latest polling. This is a big problem for an increasingly radicalized Democrat Party that continues to move further and further to the left. And I mean, way out of the mainstream thinking on issues. I mean, they are all about abolishing prisons, abolishing the U.S. Senate, sexualizing and queering little kids, defunding the police, no borders, open borders, socialized medicine, annihilating Israel, and outright property confiscation. Polling shows that 59% of these socialists are under the age of 45, and surprise, surprise, predominantly white, 57%. They're also less likely to have a college degree or make over $100,000 a year. Yeah, what should really trouble the Democrat Party is how motivated these lunatics are when it comes to voting. 66% are extremely motivated to vote this year, compared to just 57% of non-socialist Democrats. When these extremists win primaries, which we've been witnessing, especially in purple states, that gives Republicans a real chance to prevail. Socialist Abdul El Sayed is less than a week away from winning the Democrat nomination for U.S. Senate. Problem for Democrats is that he is a total radical. But he's a radical who's up over his closest primary opponent, Representative Haley Stevens, by double digits. Polling also shows that he's losing to the Republican nominee, former Representative Mike Rogers, also by double digits, whereas Stevens is tied with Rogers. Then you've got Wisconsin, another purple state. The socialist Francesca Hong running away with the race to choose the Democrat nominee for governor there. Polls also show that Hong is behind the likely Republican nominee, Representative Tom Tiffany, whereas Hong's closest primary opponent, former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, is up by 4 points over Tiffany. Yeah, between the war with Iran and high gas prices, not to mention the usual voter bias against any White House incumbent during off-election years. This is not something new. In midterms, Democrats should be romping all over the country. Instead, at least as of right now, Republicans look like they may hold on to control of the Senate and do have at least a fighting chance to hold the House. If forced to bet my life, he says, I'd give the Senate to the GOP and the House to the Democrats. But a normal Democrat Party would be coasting to victory in this kind of political environment. Their problem is they have a tiger by the tail, these radicals. I mean, we're talking a tiger they created over the last 10 years where they radicalized their base to oppose President Trump on absolutely everything. I mean, including even common sense policies like locking up criminals and deporting rapists. Be careful what you wish for there for those on the left. You've kind of, I guess, created a monster.
Last weekend, there were a lot of polls in the NTPA, including a Super National and Grand National hook. Coming to you from the NTPA headquarters in Marion, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. 5 classes made their way to Chapel Hill, Tennessee for the Lions Super Bowl of the South. Friday in the Newfields Ag Superstock Diesels, Brandon Hunt took the win over Colin Ross and Travis Schlabach. On Saturday, Colin Ross improved to the top spot over Steve Blagrave and Kent Payne. The AP1 Insurance and Premier Crop Modified Minis went the way of Troy Arnett on Friday, with Adam Bauer and Mason Theobald rounding out the top 3. Saturday, Adam Bauer took his Iron Toy up to the top spot over Grant Theobald and Chase Richardson. Moving on to the Yoder Popcorn Pro Stock Tractors, Chance McGrath picked up the win on Friday with a hook of exactly 320, which was 5 feet better than Brandon Schrammick and Grayson Shelton. Saturday, the top spot went to Dennis Schrammick aboard the second-place tractor from Friday, followed by Kevin Schmucker and Jackson Mays. Moving on to the Unlimited Modifieds, the win on Friday went to reigning national national champ Joe Ader, followed by Saturday's winner David Richardson and Adam Bauer rounding out the top three. As mentioned on Saturday, David Richardson did pick up the win over Joe Ader and Wayne Purser. Rounding out Chapel Hill was the A to Z blow molding four-wheel drives, which had Anna Mangren picking up the win after tugging the sled 345, which topped the 341.93 of Jim Holman and the 341.91 of Rob Foster. Moving on to the Grand National Hook in Brandenburg, Kentucky, there were 4 classes that hit the dirt. Friday to open the show were the High Torque Super Farms, which had Stan Warda picking up the win over Russell Fries and John Silsby. Moving on to the Prairie Ag Solutions Light Superstocks, they were the only other class to finish their hooks in Brandenburg before Mother Nature decided to change everyone's plan. Jacob Fekwa took the win over Brian Bowles and Cody Cheezick. The rest in Brandenburg was rained out. There were also a number of regional hooks last week, including a Region 3 hook in Houston, Minnesota that had 8 classes in the dirt. Also, a Region 2 hook happened in Springfield, Ohio with 5 classes, and another Region 2 hook that had 4 classes hitting the dirt in Iona, Michigan. This weekend, all eyes are on Fort Recovery, Ohio, with 8 Grand National classes hitting the track. During session 1 of 3 Friday evening, the Superstock Diesels, Modified Minis, 2-wheel drive trucks, Superstock Diesel trucks, Super Farms, semis, and Unlimited Modifieds all hit the track. During the early session on Saturday, the semis return along with the light modifieds and super farms, along with light pro stocks from Region 2. The evening session on Saturday has the Region 2 pro stockers opening for the Superstock Diesels, modified minis, 2-wheel drive trucks, Superstock Diesels, light mods, and unlimited mods. All 3 sessions are live on Full Pole. If you want to see polling in person close to home, there's a Region 2 hook in Lebanon, Indiana, a Region 2 hook also in Imlay City, Michigan, and there are also hooks in Arlington, Minnesota, Middlebourne, West Virginia, Marysville, Ohio, Antigua, Wisconsin, Morley, Michigan, Montevideo, Minnesota, and Talmadge, Ohio. We're definitely in the heart of polling season, so there is a poll near you. Find the entire schedule for all regions at ntpapoll.com. This has been the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Remember, pull hard.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit. With a threaded Torque Lock design, these cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard. Advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive can make a huge difference for your business.
This is Dean Michael, the tax doctor, and I just want to say advertising on Steve Summers' show has been the best marketing avenue for my business, providing the best return on investment consistently over everything else I've tried. I've done it all from TV commercials, pay-per-click on Google, search engine optimization, social media, and publishing ads in major magazines, but none of them came even close to doing what Steve Summers' show did for me.
If you're interested in advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, drop us an email at ssod@hotshotsecret.com. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com.
All right, to begin a hidey-ho from the Asphalt Soldier, 61 degrees, Sugar Grove, Ohio. Hey, top of the morning, Steve, and the Overnight Drive crew. Happy Friday. Dave checking in from the Three Fat Truckers. Headed back to the shop today. Hope everyone has a fantastic Friday and a safe, wonderful weekend. There's the Lauren Weiss, two-time world champion bull hauler. 72 in Columbus, Nebraska. I am extremely late for class. I do not have a pass, but I'm not going to sit in the corner. Fixing to get the powerful chrome-traded plow truck loaded for a high-speed trip south to the land of Oz. Then it'll be home to the Weiss compound in southwest Missouri to celebrate 28 years of marriage to my hot blonde wife. There you go. Special shout-out to whomever is still awake and listening to the overnight drive. Well, that would include the Midnight Mover. What's going on?
Oh, not much. I was going through Little Rock, about 85 degrees. So, getting with old Dr. Fauci there, I don't think anything ever happened to him. But when he was appearing during that pandemic, whatever happened to that other doctor that was on there with him, that woman doctor, Dr. Burks?
Dr. Burks.
Whatever happened to her?
Dr. Scarf. You know, some people are saying that, you know, she doesn't actually have any sort of a pardon, and some are saying, you know, if you haul her ass in, that she'll sing like a bird because she doesn't have a pardon. I don't know.
I mean, all of a sudden, she just disappeared out of the picture.
She was kind of like the co-conspirator with him, though, every day, right? Right by his side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, just wasn't there no more. But and as far as, Captain Ron, I think it was called in about the retirement and stuff on the Social Security.
Yes.
Well, those letters that you get every year tells you what your retirement age is. If you don't take Social Security until that retirement age, I believe you can make all you want after that. You know, if you don't take it, say, if your retirement age is 70, if you don't take it till 70, and then you can just take it and keep working and make all you want, the way I understand it.
Yeah, because his question was it 67 or 70? I mean, people don't have different full retirement ages, do they? Isn't it the same for everybody?
Yes. No. It all depends on your birthday, what year you was born.
Okay.
And you'll get, the way I understand it, and you'll get those pieces of paper like once or twice a year,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you on there what your retirement date is, if you want to wait to get full retirement, or if you want a part, you know, 3/4, you can take it 2 years ahead of time, whatever. But
right.
But yeah, you know, that's all I got. Have a good weekend.
All right, appreciate you checking in. Yeah, Princess, matter of fact, Princess got her SS update here just a couple days ago. You know, it's showing she's going to be, do we talk about women's ages? 64, I think, October. So she's eligible. If she were to retire, if she were to take SS today, or if she waits until her 64th birthday, she'd get like $10 more a month. And if she waits another year, it went up. I think it was maybe $20, $30 more than. I mean, really, they want you to hold off till you're 70. Yeah, because hell, this day and age, more and more don't even live to be 70. You sit back and wait for that full retirement age, and ultimately end up drawing one or two checks, and you're gone. That's always the debate. Hey, but there we got to close it out. Out of time on a Friday, casual Friday. Thanks for being with us. Have a safe weekend. Thanks for being a part of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
You'll never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of.